Machiavelli would warn you with a cold smile, because the year is almost over and your money still hasn't arrived. And if you remain exactly where you are, the year won't be the only thing ending. Your financial control will end with it. If you don't act now, don't expect a different ending. Stop telling yourself that you still have time. Time is the sharpest liar you know. It tells you the same story every month, every quarter, every December. And you fall for it like someone who trusts a mask instead of the face beneath it. Look at your situation without sentiment, without excuses, without softness, without hope. You are not rewarded for intentions. You are judged by movement. If you don't move, money will never move toward you. And you feel it. The pressure, the quiet dread, the creeping thought that another year has sprinted past you while your bank account crawls. That cold pull in your chest when you check your balance. That sting of disappointment when you compare your progress with reality instead of fantasy. That fatigue when you look at the goals you wrote months ago and realize they're still untouched, like a weapon you never learned to use. Your financial ending is already forming its shape, and you're the one crafting it. Stop pretending it's luck. Stop pretending it's temporary. Stop pretending you just need a push. Push yourself, or be pushed by consequences. If this reset your standards, prove it. Subscribe, or accept that nothing in your life will change. Leave without subscribing, and someone stronger will take the place you just abandoned. If that doesn't bother you, walk away. If it does, subscribe now. If you stay where you are, you'll fall exactly where everyone else falls. Into the graveyard of predictable endings. That's the truth you don't want to face. You didn't lose the year in December. You lost it in every silent moment where you chose comfort instead of confrontation. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they're slow. Slowness destroys more financial futures than stupidity ever could. You can be intelligent and still lose everything if you hesitate. In the Machiavellian view, hesitation is a form of self-betrayal. It invites stronger players to claim what you refuse to fight for. If money isn't here yet, it's because your strategy is invisible or irrelevant. You don't need a miracle. You need a law. Money rewards decisive people. Money avoids hesitant people. Money despises passive people. If you want money before the year ends, you must behave like someone who deserves it. Someone who moves without permission. Someone who takes position before others wake up. Someone who applies pressure where weak minds relax. Someone who doesn't wait for momentum but creates it manually, like a general forcing open a fortress gate with his own shoulder. Momentum is magnetic. Humans respond to direction long before they understand it. They follow pressure. They follow certainty. They follow hunger. People smell inevitability. And money behaves exactly like people, because money is a reflection of human behavior. It gravitates toward those who broadcast clarity, motion, and authority. When you hesitate, you send a signal, a weak signal, a silent signal, a signal that says you don't trust yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, why would anyone else? Why would opportunity trust you? Why would resources trust you? Why would a deal trust you? Why would advantage trust you? Momentum communicates power before words ever do. People sense direction instantly. They sense force instantly. They sense discipline instantly. And money follows that scent like smoke follows fire. You must become the fire. Follow these commands with precision. They are not suggestions. Declare a financial target that hurts to miss, not something vague or symbolic. Something that forces you to attack your days with precision. Pain creates clarity. Identify the highest leverage action you've been avoiding. Not the comfortable tasks. Not the productive-looking noise. The one action that changes your trajectory. You already know what it is. Stop lying to yourself about it. Execute it daily before anything else. Do it like a soldier obeying a command under threat. Do not negotiate with your mood, your fatigue, or your excuses. Remove one draining obligation immediately. A distraction, a habit, a responsibility that adds no value. Cut it today. You need bandwidth for power, not noise. Expand your financial intelligence through one new tool. A skill, a network, an asset, a leverage point. Choose one. Use it ruthlessly. Don't wait to become ready. Readiness is a trap. If you postpone these commands, someone else will use them against you. You must eliminate the belief that slow improvement creates different endings. Slow movement is a quiet lie. Slow movement is decay with a polite mask. Stop hoping the year will magically reverse. It won't. Change only happens under pressure created by you, not by calendars. Replace hope with aggression. Replace waiting with initiative. Replace softness with structure. Now imagine this scene. The workplace. A normal Wednesday. Nothing unusual. Two people are up for the same raise. One waits for recognition. One acts. One hopes his work speaks for itself. One makes his strategy speak louder. One avoids extra responsibility to avoid failure. One volunteers for the same responsibility because he refuses invisibility. The manager rewards the decisive one, not the quiet one. Not because he's more talented, but because he showed momentum. By the end of the month, one man's income rises. The other man's resentment rises. You already know which one you resemble right now. Another scene. Late night. A shop window glowing. Two people stand outside. One checks prices and hesitates. The other enters and negotiates. One thinks, and maybe next time. The other thinks, if I don't act now, someone else will. The shopkeeper senses the difference instantly. One looks like a wanderer. The other like a buyer. Which one gets the discount? Which one gets the partnership offer? Decision creates status. Hesitation creates invisibility. Your financial life follows the same pattern. Act and you gain, delay and you lose. It's structural, not personal. Your problem is not money. Your problem is movement. You don't have a financial problem. You have a momentum problem. You want a different ending, but you behave like someone repeating the same one. Fear of action is more dangerous than action itself. Fear hands your fate to stronger players. They move while you stall. They gain ground while you lose breath. They build while you wait. They dominate while you hesitate. If you refuse to strike, you choose to kneel. Every day you hesitate, you voluntarily take the weaker position. Now imagine two outcomes. You attack your life with enough force to fracture your patterns and rise, or you keep drifting, and December exposes you with a cold mirror. You don't need more motivation. You need a threat, a real one, a self-issued deadline that corners you into power. The year is that deadline. The empty space in your account is that threat. The silence of opportunity is that warning. If you don't act now, the year will end exactly as it began, with you reading about change instead of creating it. You only deserve a different ending if you fight for it. Hold your ambition like a weapon. Hold your time like territory. Hold your attention like currency. Don't let the world pull those from your hands again. You are entering the final stretch of the year. You can collapse into December like a spectator, or enter it like a strategist preparing to strike. When you choose the strategist, everything shifts. You stop asking if you'll get money. You start asking how much you can take before the clock stops. Become inevitable. When others slow down, accelerate. When they celebrate early, sharpen your edge. Comfort is the enemy of endings. Strength is the architect of new beginnings. You have repeated too many endings. You protected too many weaknesses. You defended too many excuses. Break the chain violently. Force your future into compliance. Don't wait for permission. Take territory before anyone notices you moved. The world respects force. The world fears force. The world rewards force. And money is the world's way of saluting the powerful. If you don't become the threat, you become the target. Prepare yourself. You crossed the threshold already. Now you stand in the territory where endings are not written by luck, effort, or dreams, but by pressure. The final weeks of the year are not a closing chapter. They are a battlefield, a verdict, a silent judgment of who you became these last 12 months. And the question staring back at you is simple. Did you control the year, or did you let the year control you? Your financial ending is not shaped by fate. It is shaped by momentum. And momentum bends to those who act with force, not to those who wait with hope. Every December exposes the truth that most people try to hide. The truth that they did not lose because they were incapable. They lost because they didn't move. And you can no longer afford to join them. If you don't control your ending, the ending will control your identity. And identity determines your movement long after the calendar resets. Identity is the engine behind every financial decision you make. If you end the year defeated, you carry defeat into the next year. If you end the year decisive, you carry authority into everything that follows. People fail financially not because they lack opportunity, but because they protect the version of themselves that avoids opportunity. They defend the self that hesitates. They defend the self that waits. They defend the self that wants improvement without undergoing transformation. That version of you cannot survive the end of the year. It has to be dismantled, cut away, replaced. You cannot end the year strong while keeping the habits that made you weak. You cannot write a different ending while protecting the identity that created the old one. The self you've been is not equipped to reach the destination you want. The year is exposing that. The silence around your goals is exposing that. The lack of money in your account is exposing that. The end of the year amplifies your strengths and exposes your weaknesses with ruthless accuracy. Earlier in the year, you could hide behind possibilities. Mid-year, you could hide behind time. In the last stretch, you have nowhere left to hide. Not your discipline, not your habits, not your results. Not the truth about how you used your days. Not the truth about how you wasted them. The year reveals exactly who you were, not who you pretended to be. Those who control endings are feared. Those who collapse at endings are forgotten. You must choose who you are. People respond to your direction, not your desire. Desire is irrelevant without movement. Dreams are irrelevant without pressure. Goals mean nothing if you behave like someone who fears application. What the world recognizes and rewards is simple. Decisive action. If you behave like someone who expects more, the world tests you. If you behave like someone who demands more, the world respects you. If you behave like someone who imposes more, the world adjusts to you. Your financial life follows the same structure. Money flows where direction is clear, not where desire is loud. When the year approaches its end, most people slow down. They relax. They loosen their standards. They treat December like a cushion made of comfort and celebration, and in doing so, they hand their momentum to the few who know what power really looks like. When others relax, you accelerate. This is how the powerful separate themselves from the ordinary. You need a protocol that ensures your ending changes. Create financial confrontation. Write the number you must hit before the year ends. The number that threatens you. Threat drives action. Comfort kills it. Build a daily war room. Set a short, relentless session every morning where you identify the single action that forces momentum. Execute it before anything else. Do it without emotion. Do it without negotiation. Remove your weakest hour. You have 1 hour of the day that leaks your discipline, dilutes your identity, and sabotages your momentum. Eliminate it completely. Not reduced. Eliminated. Deploy strategic silence. Stop announcing your goals. Stop seeking validation. Stop revealing your intentions. Silence forces internal pressure, and pressure forges identity. Tighten your circle until only one person remains who elevates your standard. Not cheerleaders, not comfort givers. One person who demands more from you. Everyone else can wait. Choose one action with disproportionate financial impact and repeat it daily. Not 5 actions. Not 10. 1. Mastery beats noise. The belief that motivation drives momentum must die. Motivation evaporates when resistance appears. It collapses when difficulty rises. It dissolves when the year becomes inconvenient. Momentum is born from confrontation, not inspiration. You cannot end the year strong by waiting for the perfect emotional state. You end it through repeated execution under pressure. Stop telling yourself you will start fresh next year. This phrase has destroyed more potential than failure ever could. This is the vocabulary of spectators, the language of stagnation. Replace it with the simple truth. Delay is decay. Now imagine this moment clearly. Your family is at the dinner table. They talk about next year, about goals they will finally pursue, about dreams they claim are waiting for them. But you've heard this identical conversation for years. The same hopes, the same intentions, the same future plans that always collapse by February. You understand something they don't. Nothing will change for them because nothing in them has changed. You will not join their cycle. You will not speak next year into existence. You will build this year into submission. Picture another moment. The office elevator. A coworker stands next to you. Someone who always waits for recognition. Someone who believes his silence is noble, that his effort is obvious, that promotion is destiny. But he is invisible. Another person gets the opportunity he prayed for. Not because he is better, but because he acted when this man waited. He complains about politics, about unfairness, about favoritism. But the truth is simple. He was passive. And in the hierarchy of power, action outruns talent every time. These scenes are not fiction. They are warnings, signals of what you must avoid if you expect a different ending. To change your ending, you must change your identity. You must become someone whose actions carry inevitability, not someone who hopes results will appear. Someone who behaves like results are unavoidable because of the force behind every decision. You want money? Then behave like someone money cannot avoid. You want opportunity? Then behave like someone opportunity cannot deny. You want a different ending? Then behave like someone who strikes, not someone who watches. The world fears people who act with inevitability. If you want to rise, that is who you must become. Now imagine December. Others are slowing down. Others are weakening their discipline. Others are collapsing into holidays and calling it rest. They disarm themselves. They soften their boundaries. They dissolve their ambition. You do the opposite. You accelerate. You sharpen. You focus. You attack. You move with precision while they drift in celebration. December is the easiest month to win because almost no one is competing. Your ambition becomes a weapon. Your clarity becomes intimidation. Your discipline becomes status. You finish the year not as someone waiting for change, but as someone forcing it. Your financial ending is not about what you want. It is about what you are willing to confront. You must confront your hesitation. You must confront your distractions. You must confront your laziness. You must confront the version of you that has repeated the same ending for too many years. If you don't confront yourself, the year will confront you. And it will not be gentle. Now imagine the final second of the year. Midnight, fireworks outside, the world cheering. But you are not distracted by noise. You look at your reflection in the window, and the face staring back at you is not the face that repeated the same cycle year after year. It is not the face that waited for life to change. It is not the face that hesitated. It is the face of someone sharpened by pressure. Someone rebuilt through decisive action. Someone who didn't wait for the year to deliver power but took it. That is your new identity. That is your new standard. That is your new status. Your ending will not be what it used to be, because you are no longer who you used to be. If you don't subscribe, someone else will. Someone who will use what you missed to get the advantage you wanted. And you will watch them rise with the knowledge that should have been yours. This is how regret begins. One ignored decision, one missed lesson, one moment of hesitation. If you don't want to feel that crushing moment again, you know exactly what to do now. Subscribe before the next person takes what could have been yours.